Oh yeah, what's going on YouTube? TeeP back here, another Tips with TeeP. Today we're going on to Fringe, CTF. Haven't done this CTF Tips with TeeP for you guys yet, so here we go. CTF is pretty straightforward in this game. I guess I would say it's the most simple respawn in comparison to Hardpoint and Uplink, but I'm going to go ahead and explain to you guys the flow of how this map is supposed to work. I'm starting off with Fringe because it's the most straightforward. I would say it's the most traditional type of CTF map that we've seen in Call of Duty the past couple years on some of the other titles. So, starting off on this side, you're spawning at Granny. You really need to try and put an emphasis on pushing up towards train control. If that's going to be their main access point to your flag, and if you continually lock it down, make sure that they can't get up to your train up towards Peaches, you're going to have a good time maintaining map control in this map. The secondary lane that you want to hold is middle. And then lastly, the weak side of the map, the overextend sort of the side, is on auto over here. So, very traditional setup. You see in other Call of Duty games, you want to have one person sort of roaming around, making sure you can't get flanked from the OE, making sure that their sub players from the other team aren't flanking around, going through auto to try and get sneak to your flag. So by whatever means you want to do that, have your AR player post up in the back of your base. A lot of teams resort to that defensive sort of style on CTF in this game that you've seen probably in the CWL. So if you're able to push up trains, get kills, work up into this fence area and into barn, this is very good. I would say this is the good side of the map because you can spawn trap the other team, force them to spawn out at that back alley, and they're forced to make the decision whether to wrap back to their base, overextend through bricks towards middle right here, or go all the way around auto to your base. Also, I feel like pulling the flag out on this side is much better too. You have a clean route, pull the flag right in a barn like I just did like that, and the other team's forced to either chase you, go through middle to try and cut you off at fences when you're crossing the train. And basically, a clean route to pull is very, very big in CTF, and that's why I think this side is a little bit better. You get more of a benefit off of getting kills compared to the other side, which makes it easier to get the flag out with the clean route as well. So, once again, the cutoffs are quite simple. If you get the flag out to barn, you probably have one player watching the crossover for middle street. You can simply just play this white truck or any of these head glitches here, whether it's L, middle truck, etc. Watch the OE from bricks, watch them crossing for barn, see if they're going to flank the flag runner. And then the last cut is straightforward as well. Just watch the OE right here. Very easy to convert on a cap if your flag guy gets it out to barn and to fences over towards train. Other players can just pre-aim up with their cuts. Hopefully they're able to hold it, and you're good to go. If you're able to replicate that many times, this is the better side. You should be able to net 2, 3, maybe even 4 flags on this side, and hopefully you can do the same sort of thing on the other. Maintaining train control, making sure that you don't get pushed out in your base. The one thing I will need to mention to you guys too is that overextend. That's going to be the main sort of strategy that most teams use if they're not prioritizing map control too much. Their sub player will continuously hit towards this weak side of the map at 10, wait for kills, and then as soon as kills go down, he'll try and flank to your base and get that pull out when you're not ready for it. If they are sort of playing that strategy, you might need to switch up your setup just a tad, put maybe a little bit less of an emphasis on train and more towards on the left side of the map, depending on how the other team is playing. But that's not the normal way to play the map. Usually, if you're getting train control, if you're getting pushed up towards fences and barn, you're going to be straight up, set to go. You can get control of their base. They're going to keep spawning at that back alley. You can get posted up and should be able to set up a lot of easy kills for your assault rifle players as they wrap back or overextend to their or your base. Pretty straightforward map, to be quite honest. If you're able to emphasize the map control, you'll be able to get the clean lanes, stay up in their base, work the kills as a team, and easy cuts when you're running that flag back. The other side, a little bit more difficult. Like I said before, you spawn out at this back alley the majority of the time if you lose map control at all. I would say the proper way to play this side is a little bit more defensive, making sure you hold control of this fence area. So having multiple players posted up either at the back rock at barn, one player at this top window, looking over middle street as well, just making sure you don't get flooded train. If you prevent them from flooding up train, it makes everything else a lot easier. If you put the emphasis on train and have the secondary middle lane and far right as your sort of second and third looks, it's going to make the map a lot easier on you. If you don't have to worry about this left side as much, then you're going to be able to easily notice when you'll be getting flanked or pushed from another area. So basically, you want to try and counter what the other team was doing that I was explaining on the other side, working up towards train, getting these kills, but being patient. Don't over-challenge when you get over towards train, because like I said, this side is the bad side. You get punished way more for dying on this side than the other. So if you got to take these gunfights a little bit smart. You can be more aggressive on the other side, but this one you need to play it smart, making sure you're strafing these lanes, putting shots down, and allowing your sub players to push up and actually put the pressure, while your AR players might play a little bit more safe, passive, prioritizing map control at trains. Once you get pushed up, it's a very straightforward route. If you get a couple kills, get your players pushed up, you can easily get pushed up here and watch these players wrapping back from the blue truck. If they're wrapping back, lots of easy kills. Once kills go down, you pull the flag out, and most of the time you're going to want to pull it over towards train, cross up, pull the flag, run it straight forward. All your teammates hold the middle, and they'll back alley OE. If you get the flag out towards barn, it should be a clean cap for you. Not much for the other team to do, even if they have streaks. When you pull the flag out, the main cuts are pretty straightforward. Most of the time, you'll have a player pushed up with the flag runner, maybe even two. So that player needs to back up, whether it's to Peaches or L-wall, and watch these players trying to contest the flag guy crossing towards Peaches. You saw me cross from the wall over to trains like that. You need a player, whether it's L, looking here, or Peaches, just simply backing up, making sure your flag guy is not getting shot at from either this top hop-up or the middle fence right about there. Pretty straightforward. The other players, you just need to focus on the players that will be spawning up in back auto. That's where they'll be the primary spawn when you get kills and push up trains. So the other players are going to have to watch the middle bricks, and then finally the back alley OE. Watching this OE can be a little bit tricky sometimes, especially if the other team has specialists. But honestly, if you get posted up at this truck, you can easily set yourself up to watch the sort of A hallway and the back alley as well. You can find out where the other team will be pushing from, and if they push either way, it should be an easy kill, even with whatever weapon you have. You can play a little bit closer up if you have a sub, but main goal, make sure you take out 1-2 of those players to create the easy route for your flag guy to put that flag in. Like I said, this is one of the more simple tips with TeeP I will be doing, because this is a very, very traditional Call of Duty competitive map. You know, you prioritize map control on the strong side of the map. The weak sides is where your sub players might want to try and OE, catch timing on the other team, get to their flag, and play the sneaks. Very traditional. Very straightforward. We've all been playing CTF for so many years now. It should be second nature to a lot of us at this point. The other CTF maps are a little bit more complex, a little bit slower, largely due to where the CTF flags are located on the maps, but this one's straightforward. You work up the map, you get to the flag. When you pull the flag, you back up with your team, stay together, and watch the cuts. Main cut, secondary cut, third cut is the back alley, and a hallway push through. Simple, straightforward. That's how the flow of the map is supposed to go. The last thing I will explain is how to play the OE with a sub, which is something I have been very good at over the years of my Call of Duty career. So basically, the OEing works a little bit different on this game, and it was sort of similar to Advanced Warfare as well. On previous Call of Duty titles, the more traditional games, you had to play the sneaks a little bit more passive, slow, take your time, and wait for your other teams to do the work while you can get behind them and ultimately pull that flag out, maybe killing someone in their back as well. In the new games, the movement is so quick, and you will get punished for being in a 3v4 situation. So most of the time you're hitting an OE, it's not really a sneak. You want to try and push it as fast as possible. If you're able to catch timing on someone, that's very, very good. But most of the time, sitting there and waiting for a play to happen isn't the way you want to play it. You want to play it as aggressive as possible and make sure that you're not putting your team in a situation where they have to make the play. You want to keep pressuring on that weak side of the map. Try and take advantage of the player that's over there that might be playing it a little bit wrong. Catch timing. If you get that player watching the OE, you should have a free route to your base, because the movement is so quick in this game, and you should have a clean route out. That's going to do it for this Tips with TeeP, guys. Pretty straightforward map on Fringe CTF. I'm going to be finishing up this series within the next couple of days or so, or even in the next week. More tips coming up soon. Leave that like button if you learned a thing or two. And if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you got any feedback. And I'll catch you guys next time on Tips with TeeP. Later, guys. Peace out.